Hey everybody, it's GombletX, and welcome back to another run of the Avatar: The Last Airbender Arena Direct. You all know the drill by now. Super high risk, but super high reward. Best of one sealed, hoping to open up better stuff than everybody else and carry that stuff, or hope that that stuff carries you to victory to win some booster boxes. These cards suck. I don't want to over exaggerate it, but UA's ability does not do much. 5 mana tap and cast a non-creature spell from your hand without paying its mana cost, and draft and sealed. Pretty much all your non-creatures are going to be cheaper than that anyway. So this is a 4 mana 3/3 flying vigilance, which is like common or uncommon power level for that stat line. Honestly, common power level. There's like Combat Professor and Strixhaven. That's a 4 mana 3/3 flying vigilance that can also give the vigilance to a different creature. So I think there's commons that are even better than that in sealed. The Walls of Bossing Say is unplayable in sealed. The Last Agni Kai is a pretty weak removal spell. It's weaker than most of the common removal spells in the sets. The Boiling Rock Riders can do a little bit. Beifong's Bounty Hunters is actually one genuinely powerful rare. And then Momo can be powerful if we have enough flyers. This isn't an abysmal steel pool. These 4 rares are pretty good. And then the land does give us a mana sink, but we've got a few really bad rares in here that I hate to see. What do we got for multicolored and colorless? I like to look at the colorless to see how much fixing I've got. I've got double barrels of blasting jelly, a bender's water skin. That's pretty nice. Energy bending is just like a one-time deal of fixing, and you have to spend 2 mana to do it in the first place. White Lotus Hideout for lesson fixing. I guess you can filter mana through it no matter what. Yeah, it's probably decent mana fixing too. And then Jasmine Dragon Tea Shop for allies. Okay, cool. Are there any really powerful multicolored cards that push us a specific direction out of the uncommons? Nope, there's just not a lot of multicolored cards in the sealed pool in general. So without having any massively powerful rares or any huge reasons to be any specific color, let's just look at each color individually and see what looks the strongest and run with that. Starting off, big fan of our white, actually. This is a really good aggressive curve. It's got multiple pieces of interaction. It's got Aang, which is a really powerful 4-drop. It's got some other flyers to go with the Momo that we could curve out early with. Momo makes them cheaper, so we could play Kids on 2, Aang on 3, Appa on 5. I like how the white looks. This looks pretty synergistic and pretty powerful in general. These are also all allies to work with the Earth Kingdom protectors that can protect any of our better creatures later in the game, any of our flyers. White looks really nice in that basically every card here is playable and they work together quite well. So I'm pretty into the white here, actually. There's a double quench out of blue for great cheap tempo plays. There's more flyers, like the first time flyer, as well as the UA, the Teo. Some kind of blue-white flyers deck looks perfectly reasonable. Blue doesn't really have any super duper exciting cards pushing us into the color like white does with Momo, but it looks like it would pair pretty well. The double quench is nice. Yeah, some kind of blue-white aggro tempo deck could be fun. Oh, we've got double Lowenly out of the black. If we have a really good Noble in our sealed pool somewhere, that can tutor that out. It also tutors lessons out, but most of the lessons aren't like super powerful. One of the nicest things to do with Lowenly is if you get an Azula, being able to tutor out Azula is brutal. That's really powerful. There's a lot of funky filler creatures in the sealed pool. Funky filler spells like the Fatal for sure. But this looks fine. I mean, it's got the Boiling Rock Riders to try to cast stuff. We'd have to pair it with a color with a lot of allies, so we go black-white. Cast an ally from among cards you own exiled with this creature. So yeah, we'd have to be like black-white and recast our white creatures out of grave. Card's just not super consistent. Good removal in black, though. Black looks solid. Red gives us some efficient removal and some aggressive creatures, some Treetop Freedom Fighters, some Yugian Archers. Again, no super exciting card here, no really powerful creatures, but good aggro stuff. And then green's pretty poopy. There's not a lot of cards here. Not a lot of cards here. The Rock-a-Lanch is basically unplayable. Yeah, green is just not where it's at. Unless the hybrid cards really push us to green. I forgot to look at the hybrid cards, which is something you do want to look at each time. None of our hybrid cards are very good, honestly. They're not even like particularly good filler. We could play some Earth Kingdom soldiers in our blue-white deck if we go that way. Definitely the Cat Owl. But yeah, none of these green cards are good enough to push us into green specifically. The cards aren't good enough to make black more exciting or red more exciting or anything like that. Yeah, I kind of just want to do blue-white. I think our green and our black are pretty weak outside of Beifong's Bounty Hunters. Don't really want to try to do that deck. I mean, it would be playable. The mana curve is abysmal. Mana curve is really bad. We get to do Beifong nonsense. Not feeling it. I think the blue-white looks like a really, really consistent deck here in this sealed pool. Probably not playing the Guru. Let's see. Cares about lessons, sagas, and shrines. We're going to have a few lessons, but not a lot. We're not going to have any shrines. And we don't have any sagas. Yeah, no, we're not a Guru deck. Not going to play the water skin. Probably won't play the barrels. I think our on-color removal is just better, and we don't need the fixing at all. Yeah. 20 creatures. We're on 45 cards right now. Don't love the fancy footwork. I'll just keep the removal spells and the cheap trick. I don't mind waterbending scroll and sealed. It tends to play a little bit slower. And we've got plenty of islands in the deck to play around with the scroll. This is going to win any like board stall long game where we just keep passing turn back and forth because we'll be drawing 2 cards a turn instead of 1. Get way ahead on value that way. What are the most mid creatures? There's a lot of 4 mana creatures here. I don't think we're a good deck for the serpents. Probably those. One more cut. I don't want to cut one of these 4 mana cards. Yeah, maybe one of the Earth Kingdom Soldiers is a fine cut too. Because then we get to keep the maximum number of flyers. I was thinking that like Cat Owl is probably better than UA because Cat Owl is like 3/3 flying vigilance, but it can give like any of our creatures vigilance because every time it attacks, it untaps whatever we want instead of just itself. And UA is not casting anything. We don't have anything that's worth waterbending out like that. So technically, this is what I was talking about, where this common hybrid mana creature is just better than UA. Which is what I really didn't like about that rare. But I think that this deck, like with Momo nonsense and just being very evasive in general, is happy to have as many flyers as possible, where we just drop one of the non-flyers. I'll just drop an expensive non-flyer. And have a ton of evasive threats. We will double check the mana base. I don't think we're running White Lotus Hideout in a 2-color deck. We can still run the Tea Shop for a mana sink later in the game, but we have 13 white cards, 11 blue. That's really close in the colors. We can go for the 8-8 split. I'm fine with it. We'll call it a deck here, hop into the gameplay, and see how far this one can take us. All right, here we are on the play for game 1. The lack of blue mana is a concern for sure, but we have a really good 3 and 4 mana play on whatever lands we draw. And Quench can still be good later in the game. Boom. Got there. Island as the first draw of the game. I would not mind quenching whatever this is. I'm just going to do it. 2, 3, 4 curve. Let's go. Now turn 5, we play another 4-drop. Turn 6, we play an Appa. Might be risky to keep this land, but I like just going up the curve here and getting to the Appa. Cycle of Renewal. Fix their mana perfectly. Sack a land and grab 2 basics. Put them on the battlefield tapped. They could have all 5 colors if they wanted. They got red, white, and green already. Just grab an island and a swamp if they're a 5-color deck. Play all the rares in the sealed pool. Not quite a 5-color deck, but they are 4. Red, white, green, and black. Nothing to airbend, so obviously we play UA instead of Aang then. There's Zuko, Exiled Prince. There's our Aang targets. There's the 5th land for Appa. So we're just gonna annoy the heck out of them. Appa only airbends our own cards, unfortunately. Dang, we don't get to re-airbend their blocker. All of our cards have flying anyway. It's not like Zuko can block, but obviously we might as well slow it down. There's Aang's Journey for our opponents. Grab whatever basic they need and gain a couple life. They're grabbing a Plains. Play it. Appa's gonna be really funny here because we just keep giving flying to our cards that already have flying. I guess. Aang's Iceberg. They can kill one of our cards and they're gonna kill Yue. There's Earth Kingdom Protectors, like that card. Boop, boop. Here's Appa. We only have 9 damage here. They are not dead in the sky yet. There's their own Aang. That's pretty good. Just trade the Protectors into the Aang here if they block. Cool. I could airbend our Aang and then play it to airbend their Zuko, but I don't have the mana to do that and still play the flyer, so I'll just play the extra flyer. This is such a consistent blue-white flyers deck from at least how it's playing in the first game. Like, it's just been all flyers all day. Take the Zuko damage and see what they're going to try to draw here. Oh, they're going to use that extra mana on removal during combat. Yeah, Sandbender stormed the Appa. Got 7 power on this board, which is still not lethal. They have 8 life. Another removal spell. Man, they're loaded up. So Watery Grasp, there's our own removal. Don't mind it. I'm going to fully cast it here and do the Waterbend so that we shuffle that away so they don't get to draw any extra cards off Zuko's ability. We've got lethal on board here if they don't have another removal spell. They crack a land, desperately searching, and don't find it. That's going to start things off 1-0 for us heading into game 2. All right, here we are for game 2 on the draw. I'm very into this hand. What? That's my play. What are you doing? We're on the mirror match, but they're on the play, then obviously they're just favored by being on the play, and that would be really unfortunate, because otherwise I think this hand's pretty good. We just didn't win the die roll. It's literally just that. Mirror match, but they're on the play. Brutal. I don't think we want to Watery Grasp Momo because Momo's ability is pretty good too, making all their stuff cheaper. So, don't mind running out the Fortune Teller here so that I can hold up It'll Quencha and crack a clue if I don't use it. Okay, Avatar Enthusiast is fine. Not a flyer. We're happy to see that. Momo's holding off Momo, and we can grasp the Glider Kids. It doesn't have any abilities. One thing I don't like about grasping the Glider Kids is I won't have It'll Quench up for 1 turn. I think it's fair to stop their damage here, though. It's kind of important to wait to crack the clue until their end step so that we're always threatening to Waterbend exile the Glider Kids. They have an instant speed ally here? I guess if they do, they got us. Ty Lee, okay. I'm making that block there because it's kind of a free bluff. It's not like I have any way to really profitably trade into the Enthusiasts. I could double block and then they kill Momo. So even if they had no ally with Flash in their hand, that would have been a good attack for them. Wow, this is not a lot of non-blue cards. Non-blue sources, I should say. It's looking pretty bad. Appa? Yep. That's why holding up the mana for the Waterbend on Watery Grasp is usually pretty good, because there's a lot of ways to airbend your own cards in the set. So that's what I was talking about earlier, about like waiting to crack the clue until the absolute end step, because then I have the permanents on board to tap for the Waterbend if they ever tried to do something like the airbending lesson. But we're under so much pressure here, we can't just constantly hold that mana up. We really had to play Appa that turn. Well, their hand was really good here, but I do still feel like that play draw differential hit us pretty hard, to where we likely would have had a chance on the play, but really didn't here on the draw. Yeah, I mean, I've got like no shot here. Like we trade there, we block there, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I go to 1 life here at best. I think we're pretty dead. Yep. Certainly to removal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Attack with a 5/5. I guess not. Not on board. We got a draw step to hit something, but this deck doesn't have any like bombs in it. The sealed pool just doesn't have any bombs. It's nice with our Vigilant card. But 3 blockers against this board. Block, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm still... If they cast anything to like trigger Prowess or trigger Momo, I'm still dead. And most of my blocks are chumps. Got mildly excited about that tail, and it's like that just doesn't change anything. Realistically. Okay, we're gonna get Prowess killed probably. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dead to any Prowess trigger. This is the most damage I can possibly stop. We go to 1 and we're alive, but I only have 2 blockers against all that. And a land. All right. 1 and 1 it'll be, heading into game 3. All right, here we are on the play for game number 3 now. Reasonable start. We got that 2-mana 2/2 on curve, the 3-mana mana ramper as well. Should be a nice start. Waterbending Scroll's a little awkward in the opener. It's kind of just in there for the big board stalls that can happen sometimes. Playing against a black-white deck with an incredibly powerful land, Abandoned Air Temple is a absurd mana sink. Unfortunately, our opponent has the 2/3 to hold off our 2/2. Water Tribe Captain. Yeah, they've got a pretty excellent curve here. Not a fan of that for us. Good lord. All right, well, we'll counter Azula at least. All right. We're actually in an okay position here because we don't really take any damage this turn. We get to start using our mana sinks. Spitting out 1/1s or drawing a card every turn. Might take a couple points from the captain. Nope. Cast a Merchant of Many Hats, you got it. If they hit another white source, we're in a really bad spot, though, because then they start putting a +1/+1 counter on all these creatures every single turn, and then their mana sink is just stronger than ours, because it is a bomb rare. You're not an island. Supposed to get an island to make the scroll cheaper to use. Oh my god, if they hit the mana for the air temple, this game is so over. Put a +1/+1 counter on 5 creatures every single turn. Okay. Patrol can't attack or block, but can still untap stuff. I'll trade a 2/2 into a 2/3. Could airbend our patrol to save it. Yeah, I'll get rid of the Compassionate Healer here. Because now I have an Appa that can airbend it too. While playing to the board. Yeah, I think it's Appa. I mean, none of this can do anything about their land. It's a land. There's not really much you can do in sealed to blow it up. But now we've got a beefy flyer to try to race, I guess. We are really, really just on the prey they don't hit the white source, which means that we need to start trying to put some pressure on them. Giving them less time to hit it. That's another card draw that's going to get them closer quickly to the plains. Yeah, I like the Teo here. Speed things up. Two-mana replay Patrol is likely the play right now. And I could go 4-drop and 2-mana reversal next turn. The Hey Bye, sacking a creature every turn to get more counters on them. Can cast the Cat Owl and still have reversal. Don't want that land. Draw, discard. Don't want that land. We've got lethal next turn, even if they get the Air Temple thing going. We've got them at 12. We can hit for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Guess I'm 1 damage off. I lied. Shoot. Should have discarded Fortune Teller for the +1/+1 counter. I guess 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then by discarding an on-land card, that's the 12th from the +1/+1 counter from Teo. Actually. So we do have lethal if we discard an on-land next turn. Man. Airbend that. Now we definitely don't have lethal this turn. Hey Bye's coming in. If that's going to be a 7/7, I don't think I mind the Compassionate Healer chump. That's a good draw. That's a real good draw. I don't have the mana to play UA and Appa. I guess I do with the patrol. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. All flyers all day. Even if they board wipe us, they have 2 cards in hand and we have a waterbending scroll to draw an extra card every turn. Oh my god, we are so lucky. If they hit a single planes that game, they would have been hitting so hard so fast. That abandoned air temple just being stuck off of the extra white. Really lucky for us, really brutal for our opponent. That is going to be a victory for us. We are now 2-1 heading into round number 4. All right, here we are on the play for game number 4. We are 2-1 right now, at least a 50-50 on this run. Run out the first time flyer. Union Archers from our opponent. Land draw for us is awkward. Kind of want to just cash in this EP up to upgrade the flyer for the rest of this game. Make sure I've got the lesson engrave. Ty Lee. Boop the 3/1. Now they don't have a reach creature at all. Every draw so far has just been a land, so we're chilling. Oh, there's an even worse reach creature. Fire Nation Warship. We've drawn a spell. It's a 2-mana 2/2. Compassionate Healer hits the board. Pirate Peddlers, which can crew the warship and make sure we cannot swing in. But they're gonna crew. They're staying aggressive here. Take it. Go to 12. If it's a race you want, it's a race you shall have. Crack them for 4 next turn. They go down to 8. We gain 1 and scry 1. Drawing all lands, but hopefully Appa's about to change that, giving us the Compassionate Healer scry. Guess we don't even need the flying on it. We could trade it into Peddlers, and that's a good trade. Another Compassionate Healer. Not really gassed right now. The 2-mana card with 7 lands. They do have the removal for Appa. Take 8 here. Nope, take the 4. They're going to play the defensive here now with the warship. My options were land or a 2/2. Sad. Some of our airbending cards like Aang or something would be so good there. Zuko's Exile. Earth Kingdom Soldier, you are too late. And another land. Alright, they got us if they play any creature here to crew. Actually, Ty Lee's already got us, because they can just shut off a blocker. Another Zuko's Exile. Alright, well, that was pretty rough. Just a lot of lands drawn that game. We did have the opportunity to draw one more 2/2, but that still would have been just as bad of a spot. Not what we needed. Watery Grass would have been a good one earlier, too. Alright, 2-2 it'll be for today's run. I said it when we opened it up. I don't think our rares were super good here. I'm pretty happy with this blue-white build. I think the curve and the tempo is potentially pretty good, but didn't line up super well for us. Hit a lot of lands. It is what it is. 2-2 will be the record for today. Yeah, we're just like really lacking on like bomb power there. We had plenty like decent draws. We're looking for more expensive stuff. The Koi would have been really nice there. But I guess since they had another Zuko's Exile, it wouldn't really have mattered too much. Yeah. Kind of awkward, as is the sealed pool. Yeah, I mean, 2-2, 50-50 record. We're still on a pretty positive record overall out of all of these in terms of our win rate, but it does really suck to burn the 8,000 gems, not even get a few of them back here today. But that's magic for you. That'll be 2-2 for today's video. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.